Alright, so before starting with the transpirational pull, we'll have to see the process of transpiration in detail. Only then we can be able to understand this transpirational pull. So for transpirational pull, we'll have to first discuss about the process of transpiration. This transpiration is the process of, let me write it here, this is the process of loss of water from leaves through stomatas. Now, the leaves, they are also of two types, whether it is a leaf of a monocot plant or a dicot plant. For monocot plant, it is having the isobilateral leaves, and for the you would say dicots, it is having the dorsiventral leaves. That thing we'll discuss when we'll start with the actual chapter of transpiration. And the stomatas, they are also of the two shapes, but here we will be discussing about the bean shaped stomatas. Alright, so here we are discussing about the bean shaped stomata, and the leaf here we are talking about is the dorsiventral leaf. In dorsiventral leaves, it is of the dicot plants, and the stomatas, they are present only on the lower epidermis of the leaf. Alright, so let us say if this is a root of the plant, these all are the root here, and this is the plant, and let us just say this is the leaf. Alright, now we'll see the internal structure of this leaf. We know that the upper surface of the leaf is covered with a waxy coating which is known as the cuticle. So this is the uppermost layer, which is the cuticle. Alright, let me label it here. This layer is cuticle, the waxy coating. Inner to this layer is the epidermis. Inner to this is the epidermis. Let me just make it as a double layer. So this layer is cuticle. Inner to this layer is the epidermal cells. These are the epidermal cells. That is the upper epidermis. So this is the upper epidermis of the leaf. Then we are having the cells. The cells which are closely packed, these cells are the palisade cells of leaves. These cells, they are closely packed, and these are known as the palisade cells of leaf. Alright, so let me label it here. These are the palisade cells. Alright, palisade cells. Then there are spongy parenchymas. Those parenchyma cells, they are loosely packed. These cells are loosely packed, and there is some spaces which are being present. Let me just make some space over here. We'll discuss what this space is for. So let me make this space like this over here. Alright, then there are cells. These are all loosely packed cells. Alright, let me make the lower epidermis. So this is the lower epidermis, and this lower epidermis is having the stomatas, and the stomatas here we are talking of the bean shaped stomatas. So this is one stomata. Just we are taking an example, so we are just making the two stomatas. Alright, so this is how the cells, these are loosely packed cells. Alright, these are known as, let me label it over this side again, these are known as spongy parenchymas. Spongy parenchymas. Both these cells, that is palisade cells and spongy parenchyma, they all together, they are known as the mesophyll cells. These mesophyll cells, they are made up of the palisade cells which are closely packed, and the spongy parenchymas which are loosely packed. At this center position, we are having both the bundles as xylem as well as the phloem. So in the center position, we are having the vascular bundles as xylem and phloem. Alright, so this palisade cells, then these are the spongy parenchymas, both are known as mesophyll cells. The upper layer is cuticle, waxy coating. The upper epidermis, they are not having stomatas. The lower epidermis, they are having the stomatas. Stomatas are bean shaped. The leaf is the dorsiventral leaf and it is of the dicot plant. Alright, so here we will be just talking about the xylem. Alright, so let us just talk of only the xylem here. Now, transpiration is the process of the loss of water. Alright, so let us say somehow the water has reached to this tissue or a xylem. Alright, so this is the leaf, so leaf is present at the certain height. So the water has somehow reached the xylem. We still have to discuss about the transpirational pull, but let us say the water has just reached to this position. Alright, so from here the water will be entering into these spongy parenchyma cells again by the process of imbibition or imbibition. The water will be over here and then this water will stick to the cell wall of these spongy parenchyma cell. So these are the water droplets which will be imbibing over the cell wall. Alright, so this is imbibing to the cell wall. Now by taking the heat from the outside, that is sunlight or the heat of the surrounding, this water will be converted into the vapor form and will enter this space. This space, from this the water will enter to this space. Alright, similarly the case will be over here. The water which is being imbibed by the cell wall by absorbing the heat will be converted into water, vapor. By absorbing the heat, it will be converted into its vapor form and it will enter into this space. This space here, which is near to the stomata, these are known as the substomatal space. This is substomatal space. Again, this is the substomatal space and these are the stomatas. Alright, these are the stomatas which are here bean shaped. Alright. So this is the substomatal space. By absorbing the heat from the outside, it will be converted into its vapor form and it will enter into this substomatal space. From the substomatal space, now this opening and closing of stomata, this will be emulsified by the two factors, that is by the starch glucose process or by the potassium ion exchange that we'll discuss in the further part of the chapter of transpiration. Here we'll only know that the water from these spongy parenchyma cell will enter the substomatal space and when the stomata will open, this water will be lost. This water will be lost. Now when this water will be lost from this space, here there will be the creation of the vacuum because the vapor has been lost. Now this area is now empty. This empty area will now be of the region of the low pressure. This will be the region of low pressure. So here, or let me write it here, after the loss of water, here the vacuum will be created. Alright, if the vacuum is created, it means it will provide a force which will allow the water to move up. Why? Because this space is empty. This space has created the vacuum. Now the vacuum will produce a suction force and that suction force will be given to xylem because only because of this xylem the water has entered to this thing. Now it will force the xylem to pull the water. So it will provide a suction force because of the creation of the vacuum and that suction force will help the xylem vessel to take the water to this height where this leaf is present. Alright, let us see one more time. Now the water is imbibed by these cells by the process of imbibition. Now by absorbing the external heat, this water is being converted into its vapor form and is entered into the substomatal space. From the substomatal space, it is leaving the stomatas, creating an empty space over here and that space is known as vacuum. Vacuum is the region of low pressure and this vacuum will provide the suction pull or suction force to the xylem. And due to that suction force, it will, force the xylem to pull the water upwards because of the suction force. Now, by this, the xylem will have to pump up the water. Now, this pumping up of the water is emulsified or it is being controlled by two other forces. Those forces are the forces of cohesion and forces of adhesion. These two forces will help in pulling up the water by the xylem vessel. So in the next part we are going to discuss about these forces. Alright students, so let us now start with the next thing as the forces of adhesion and forces of cohesion. So the forces of cohesion, these forces of cohesion or cohesive forces, these are between the molecules of same substance. It is between the molecules of the same substance, like in our case only, the forces of attraction between water and water. Alright? So the forces of attraction between the molecules of the same substance, the water will attract the water, or the water will force the water to come along with it. So it means if the one molecule of water is moving in one direction, the other water will be pulled by the other water molecules. Alright, so each and every water molecule is pulling the other water molecule to move in the same direction. Next is the forces of adhesion. The forces of adhesion is between the molecules of the other substance. We know that when we drink a glass of water and when we are finished with the drinking, we can see that some of the water is still sticked to the wall of the glass, or we can say the water droplets can be seen that it is being it's been stuck on the walls of the glass. So that forces which is between the water and the walls of glasses, that force is the forces of adhesion. So it is between the molecules of the two different substances. So here water with the walls of glass. Alright, so here we will be discussing about the walls of xylem vessels. Alright, so water to the xylem vessel and the forces of attraction. This is also attraction, this is also attraction. So this water is attracted to other water and this water is attracted to the walls of xylem vessel. So these are the forces of cohesion and adhesion. Cohesion is between the molecules of the same substances. This is the between the molecules of the two different substances or other substances, that is water to the walls of xylem vessel. Alright, so in the previous part we have discussed that water has been reached up to stomata and it is being lost, creating a suction force. That suction force will help in pulling up the water. Alright, now how the water is being raised, we are going to see that. So if this is that xylem vessel and the water is present over here and the water is somehow present over here, now it will have to rise, it will be going to rise. Now there is the forces of adhesion between the water and the wall of xylem. So one molecule of water will stick to the wall of xylem, to the xylem vessel. Now water is also having the force of attraction with the other water molecule. This will attract the other water molecule to move along with it. So this will attract all these water molecules, they are being the stronger cohesive forces like this. Alright, so again when this will move forward because of the adhesive forces and because of the suction force, this water molecule is being pulled upward due to the suction force and it is now moving like this. As a result of which all the molecules will follow this molecule and the molecule will start to rise. The same phenomena will be having like this and the other molecules due to the cohesive forces will be like this. So this is how the water will start to rise like this due to the presence of the adhesive as well as the cohesive forces, and by the end of the time all the water molecule will rise up to the tip of the plant. Alright, this would be either the tip of leaf, stem or branch. Alright, so cohesive is between water and water. One water molecule if being stuck to the xylem vessel, it will pull the other water molecule, and that other water molecule will pull the other water molecule. Due to the suction force, this one water molecule will move up and all the water molecules will follow that upward movement. As a result of which all the molecules of water will move upward and the water will reach to the tip of leaf, stem or branch. So this was all about the ascent of sap. In the ascent of sap, first the capillary action up to certain heights, then there would be the root pressure which will help the capillary action to move further upwards, and then is the force of suction which is due to the transpiration. That is why it is being named as the transpirational pull or the transpirational force, and also the suction force, because the suction is being created. Alright, the upward movement, it is being controlled by the forces of cohesion as well as the forces of adhesion. So this is how the water will be moved upward, and this entire thing will complete the process of the ascent of sap. Alright, so that is the upward movement of the water, and we have completed the upward movement, and that is only possible because of this tissue which is known as the xylem. Alright, so this tissue here is known as the xylem tissue, and the transportation of water is being controlled by the xylem tissue. So this was all about the ascent of sap. By this we have completed this unit as the absorption by roots and ascent of water.